The civic leaders, assistant civic leaders blamed the residents for slum they dwelled in, when this was really something that, in my opinion, was managed from the beginning by these park owners. So, there are some counter arguments. Now, theoretically, if Bruce were here, I would want to ask him that, but the rules and regulations document say you have to maintain your park, your home. But the park owners in these slum parks do not enforce that. They do not go through and tell you, like our previous owner did, that, hey, you need to fix that fascia. Hey, you know, that skirting is starting to rot, you need to fix it. We thought they were picking on us when they did this, but in reality, they were saving us money because they were catching it when it was a small expense, a few $100s, something you can fix yourself. These slum park owners, they don't even have the staff to come through and look at your homes. They don't do that in our park anymore. They don't write people up. In park, we see homes, one or two here and there, trying to deteriorate because they're not being forced to keep the home up to park standards. So there's some of the programs we've tried and would like to promote. Home and lot maintenance tips for residents, and we have these on the web, on the MHPHOA website. We put in some things about how to caulk your home to keep it from getting rotted from the rain, and other ways to protect your home so that it will not become deteriorated. And you can also bug your park owner and tell them whenever you think they're letting things deteriorate and keep a document of it. So I'm saying, even if it's small, don't let parks deteriorate. That's one of your major ways to fight back against these this tendency to redevelop and clear parks. Write up park owner. We have a concept called the alternate park office. When you're in some of these parks that are very poorly maintained, you find out that there is no park office really anymore. The park office is there because California law requires that there be a manager, but they're really there to serve the park owners and not you, and they put the residents off and delay them. So you start your own. And we've been doing this. And it actually, I'm surprised, it actually does work. If you have a system of writing letters, complaining, sending the letters to your city, sending information to HCD, threatening lawsuits, you can get actually them to respond because they don't want to make it in the news, and they don't want lawsuits, and they don't want the HCD coming on them. But most parks don't have a system of escalating problems and going after the park owners whenever they fail to enforce the rules and regulations of the park. So this is another one of those little pieces that might help protect your park. We talked about solving problems early. Here's the tips that are on the website. Home maintenance tips that we put on. I wrote most of these myself, actually. In fact, that's our house. It's on the web. Sewage spills, how to handle them, how to stop them, prevent them, and let's see what else. We already talked about why the cities like redevelopment. I think we went over that. Mainly because when developers come in, they offer city tax revenue that they may be desperate to get. The tax revenue from a development usually is a big declining asset in that when a developer comes in and develops, cities can then, especially if it's a business development, can get more tax revenue for if your park is converted to like a Walmart or some kind of business or even maybe apartment or condo complexes. So the city can make more money from that, at least at the beginning. Long term, they ended up holding this infrastructure problem, and that's where Strong Towns comes in again and says we've got to stop this kind of development that causes cities to end up holding on to these infrastructure problems 30, 40 years down the line after all the people that approved those projects are long gone, and now the new residents of the city are facing city deterioration. Okay, well, I'm going to...
Okay, that's good. What time to stop?
Okay, let me go ahead and get to the bottom of this all. I wanted to kind of end on.
We're not going to take a break. He's just going to do a wrap and we'll do it.
Okay.
Because everyone's tired and everything.
Yeah, everyone's eating dinner, and I can see people. I thought I was going to scare you to stay awake, but maybe not. Okay, there's a lot of options out there.
We're old.
Shelter Forest is a good website. Strong Towns is a good website. There are people out there that are combating this. You need to form coalitions and alliances with some of these. I would like to encourage everyone to join in HOA. That is the National Manufactured Homeowners Association. We have the president sitting here, Tim Sheehan. And they are working to unite all these different state organizations and also to keep track of what's going on federally. In fact, maybe we get Tim to say something. And here's that wealthy park owner's home. I believe it's a Kaplan or Tatum. It's Kaplan's home, Tatum and Kaplan Park. He calls it his Versailles.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a 100,060,000 square foot home, but Michael Scott is trying to build a $150 million home not too far away from there. Right?
There's a story about that. The people that lived under that home in Hollywood are wealthy. There's Jennifer Aniston, Jay Leno, and a producer that produces Full House. Now it's called Fuller House, and it's on Netflix. And it was that producer that noticed that this part of this huge home was being built up above him, and there were going to be trucks going for a year hauling dirt out and moving stuff around, so he needed to protest. And we got called up there by their lobbyists to do a reference, a character reference of their new neighbor, Michael Scott. And this will blow your mind. I'm sitting there in one of the biggest mansions on that hillside. Producer Jeff Franklin, who produced Full House. Fancy house, huge fish tanks, half the size of this wall. It's great, and all these people come in. They're all from around there. They're all multi-millionaires. They all have houses with views, you know, reflecting pools and all that stuff. And they talked about how to stop this billionaire. The millionaires talked about how to stop this billionaire from building this home on top of their hill and stripping the hill out. Because it was going to ruin the neighborhood. He was going to be having lots of lavish and wild parties there. And they didn't want the traffic in their neighborhood. They didn't want all the trucks hauling dirt back and forth. It's incredible. So I heard something I never thought I would hear before. These millionaires, one of them stood up and said, the system is rigged. And that really blew my mind because they are very wealthy people, and yet they feel the system is rigged. And now I can kind of see what they're talking about, because if you're a billionaire, you're so much more wealthy than they are. That whatever they can buy, that guy can buy 100 times more. Anyway, let's move on to a vision statement. I want to leave on a very good, I want to try to leave on a good note. I was looking for something positive to say, because we have to go beyond just protecting my house or our houses or our park to protecting all the parks in my city, county, and state. We need to protect affordable housing everywhere. We need to prevent the homeless situation from happening in this affordable housing. We should all be concerned about anything that happens, even if it's 500 miles away. We should rally and try to protect this form of affordable housing. So beyond reacting, which is a lot of what we're doing now, these park owners are doing things and they're reacting, and we're reacting to them and trying to figure out ways to stop them. We need to get into more of a proactive mode. There was pressure being put on Fannie Mae back in 2017 regarding the predatory landlords. They're getting loans from Fannie Mae, by the way, that a quasi-government organization with their tax dollars is helping to support. There was a duty to serve public listing session webinar that was attended by Tim Sheehan and participated in the discussion. And I want to read some of the forward-looking vision here. Tim said, and here he is here, instead of giving money to enable some of the most aggressive and opportunistic operators to expand their oppressive empires, it would be far better to support acquisition of manufactured home communities by philanthropic and nonprofit operators. Support resident purchase of these communities or support nonprofit developers to construct new manufactured home communities.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he went on to say, a first focus to consider would be a new type of 62 and older manufactured home village that could provide broader services than exist in 55-plus communities that are currently widespread, especially in the Sun Belt states. Could there be a second renaissance of manufactured village construction, especially in rural and semi-rural areas, that once again lures seniors from stick-built homes in the city, old conventional homes in small towns, or from family farms to move and live in a new retirement community with more amenities than manufactured villages have ever provided in the past? By getting people to downsize to manufactured home retirement communities, their previous homes will be made available to younger families, the workforce, and at a generally affordable price, closer to where they work and reducing their daily commute time on the highways. Offering amenity services such as basic medical care, transportation with those who no longer drive, shopping cooperative to purchase goods at discounted rates, some form of meal service, entertainment, social activities, etc., would enable homeowners to age in place for the longest time possible before needing more intense and expensive specialized care. Manufactured home villages in rural areas could serve as a local medical clinic, senior centers, and quasi-nursing homes. Achieving support of renowned philanthropists and foundations could create public awareness of the value of this form of housing and help dispel negative stigmas and stereotypes. Thank you very much, Tim Sheehan. I want to thank David Craig for letting me Some of my mentors are admin at MHPHOA, Mary Jo, Debbie Gardner, Paul Westminster, Esperanza Ross, Richard Walker, Public Law Center, Strong Towns, Tennis Together, MH Action, and many park residents and activists who experienced predatory practices firsthand and took the time to tell us about them.
Thank you, Don. Okay, everyone, the raffle has arrived. Oh.